What is up, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Willie of the Raiders Rundown. Will the Raiders have to pay Derek Carr a boatload of money? That's the topic of today. We're going to talk about Derek Carr's contract extension with the Raiders, what it could look like, what could happen right now based off this Ian Rapoport report. We're also going to go into the quarterback contracts of many QBs around the NFL and how Derek Carr compares with them. And we're also going to talk about this coaching staff. It is becoming solidified. We have a long list of new coaches that we need to talk about. So let's get right into it. Super Bowl Sunday. You think it's going to be about the two teams in the big game, but no. Ian Rapoport came out with an article, a report that the Raiders are prepared to extend Derek Carr. Let's read a quote from the article at NFL.com right now. Sources say the Raiders are moving forward with Carr at QB and prepared to discuss a contract extension that would keep him in Las Vegas for the foreseeable future. Now, Derek Carr has been silent for the past 15 days, hasn't said a word publicly because these negotiations are going on. And Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have also been somewhat non-committal. They've praised Derek Carr, but Ziegler in the opening press conference said they're going to have to see how Carr feels and how they feel before they extend, which makes sense, right? And when you look at this Ian Rapoport article, it's very positive and very optimistic that a deal will get done with quarterback Derek Carr soon. The language in this, though, it's not reporting anything new. That's what bothers me about this article. I understand Ian Rapoport is saying, oh, sources say the Raiders are moving forward with Derek Carr. But here's the kicker. Here's the key line in here. They are prepared to discuss a contract extension. Look at that right here. Look, we knew they were prepared to discuss a contract extension. We've known this for the past month. This really isn't much new information. Now, if you're going to tell me that, oh, a deal's done and it's going to be released this week, that's quite different. Look, I want Derek Carr to stay at quarterback. I'm optimistic that a deal will get done soon, but I'm not going to sit here and act like this means the deal is already done. It doesn't. And I don't think Rapoport's necessarily reporting new information. Now, what I want to talk about is, why is this being announced now? Why on the day of the Super Bowl are we having this announcement by Rapoport about the extension with Derek Carr? We already know they've been talking to each other. We've already known this, right? They said they spoke on the phone, even though there's no public comment from Derek Carr yet. The reason why is I think that Dave Ziegler and McDaniels might be behind this report. Who else is telling Rapoport that the Raiders are moving forward with Carr and prepared to discuss a contract extension? Who else would be telling him that? Obviously, it's the Raiders camp. It's Ziegler and McDaniels, their camp. They're saying this to Rapoport so he can announce this to the public. Now, why would he be doing that? Because it puts Carr in a situation where he's pressured to sign a deal soon. This is kind of pressuring him to say, hey, we're announcing publicly that we want you to sign a deal and extend with us. So if Carr doesn't sign, if this is dragged out, then the onus is on Carr. It's like, well, the Raiders camp said they want you. They said they want to extend you. What's the deal, bud? And a lot of Raider Nation and a lot of people are holding Carr's comments against him that he made early on in the year, which is that he is not about money and he wants to be a Raider for life. And he would retire if he went elsewhere. However, you got to look at the context of those comments. A lot of people don't understand that those comments were made when John Gruden was the head coach and Carr was under the assumption that Gruden would be here until 2027. He was running under that assumption. That's not happening now, right? With this comment, they are prepared to discuss a contract extension with Carr. They want to keep him. Now the onus is on Carr. Are you going to sign a deal or not? And is it because you want too much money? Is that why you're not signing a deal? That's the attitude that it seems like Ziegler and McDaniels camp wants to put out there. Because why wouldn't they just announce a deal? If everything is so dandy and we are so certain that Carr is going to be the QB for the Raiders, why not announce the deal right now? Why not say, hey, we are going to extend him. Here are the numbers. It's coming out this week. That would be great. I want them to extend Carr right now. I don't like dragging this out because the longer you drag this out, the harder it is to recruit free agents. There are free agents who will come to this team to play with Derek Carr. We have seen this over the past few years. Nelson Aguilar, John Brown, Willie Snead. These were all veterans who came to play with Derek Carr. Obviously, it didn't work out with Snead and Brown, but hey, that was the attitude. When you got a quarterback who a lot of people know about, a lot of people feel comfortable with, would want him to throw them the football, they're going to be more likely to jump on board, especially if they know he's going to be here for a few years. This is another comment by Rapoport in the article, which I didn't like, and we're going to get to all the numbers and everything later, but this is a comment I didn't like by him in the article. For years, it appeared Derek Carr's future with the Raiders was in doubt. Whenever former coach John Gruden had the opportunity to fully support him, he often left it open. That is just false. That is just false. Okay, I get it in 2018, yeah, Gruden and mainly Mayock. It was mainly always Mayock, a little wishy-washy on are they committing to Carr, because Mayock would say, we're going to upgrade whenever we can, at every position. but you got to do that in the draft in order to make other teams not know what you're going to pick. Maybe they think you're going to pick a quarterback at number 4 in the 2019 draft. That's the idea behind it. Dude, Gruden, you go through his comments all the time, man. He's praised Carr like crazy. And I feel like this is just anti-Gruden slander. But we're moving on. And sources say that Carr's top choice for head coach was actually Josh McDaniels, was the one that the team hired. And in the past, McDaniels and Ziegler, their affection for the 3-time Pro Bowler led them to consider trading for him. So this is confirmed by Ian Rapoport that Josh McDaniels did want to trade for Derek Carr at some point. Hey, so that just proves that Ziegler and McDaniels, they want Carr. And that also proves that they would be willing to give this guy a significant amount of money. Raider Nation in the comments on the internet and, people that you talk to at work, they are all saying, oh, Carr's going to take a team-friendly deal. You're forgetting, man. He said that crap when Gruden was here. This is a different show. And think about it. This is going to be Carr's last big contract. This is the last chance. Guy's like 31 years old, last chance to get a fat deal before you retire. So his agent, if he's smart, is going to try to get him a lot of money. That's what you do in this situation. And I think that's what Carr is going to try to do. He has some leverage when you know that McDaniels and Ziegler really want him, and he should have some leverage. Hey, I'm going to get into all the contracts and go deeper into Carr's numbers in a second, but I just want you guys to know that you can support this channel in a lot of ways. You can like this video to boost us in the algorithm. It really helps us. Comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how you feel about the show too. And you could also become a member to support this channel so we can go full time and drop content for you every single day. The link is in the description to become a member. There's a lot of QBs out there who are paid more than Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr signed his extension with the Raiders before the 2017 season. And at that time, it was the highest quarterback contract, really. And then Jimmy Garoppolo topped him shortly afterwards. Carr is making roughly $25 million a year when you balance out all the guarantees and bonuses. However, his cap hit this year is just $19 million a year. When you look at these QBs here, there's a lot who I right away say Carr is better than. Like, these are all QBs paid more than Derek Carr. Matthew Stafford, I would take Carr over him, especially after seeing how Stafford played in the Super Bowl. I mean, he won the game, but, he did struggle. Garoppolo, obviously I'm taking Carr over Garoppolo. Tannehill, look, I think a lot of people sleep on Tannehill. I think he's a great quarterback, but I still give the arm and accuracy to Derek Carr, and I put him over him. Matt Ryan, too old. Carson Wentz, couldn't handle us when he played with the Colts just this past year, right? Cousins, Rodgers. Okay, when you get to Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Dak, Josh Allen, Mahomes, that's when it gets into territory where it's like, okay, these QBs are likely better than Carr, or the narrative around the NFL is that they are better than Carr. Personally, when I look at this list and I look at every QB on here, I just think over the past few years, even under Gruden, aside from the first 4 weeks of the 2021 season before Ruggs was done, they all have had better weapons than Carr on offense. I just think Carr, if he when he's had receivers and running backs, he doesn't have an O-line. When he has an O-line, he doesn't have receivers and a lot of talent at running back. So I just think a lot of these people have had a lot of more weapons than Carr, and I think it's not crazy to say that he could make $40 million a year. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but if Ziegler and McDaniels, like I just showed you earlier, wanted to trade for Carr when they were in New England, they're coming out publicly saying they want a deal done. And maybe that's to pressure Carr to take less than $40 million, to say, hey, we're out here wanting to extend you, but if you want the bag and not want to go team friendly, then I don't know, it's on you, bro. That could be the idea they're putting out there. Or everything's nice and dandy and it's going to be released tomorrow that Carr's extended for 5 years with a $200 million contract for $40 million a year. Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's going to happen? Who knows? And think about it. Some people are saying Carr's going to take a bridge QB 3-year deal. I don't think this guy sees him as himself as a bridge QB. And look at some presser comments that Carr made in the offseason. He said he wants to go win a Super Bowl. He wants to go win it again. You know what? I'm gonna play this comment. I'm gonna play these comments right now. The tired of disrespected comments from 2020.
I have a lot to prove to myself. I have a lot to prove to my organization. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm tired of being disrespected. So there was no question I was gonna play this year. Because what I'm tired of, the hype machine that sometimes the NFL can be, right? I'm trying to go win this Super Bowl so we can hang one of these banners in this beautiful indoor that we got. And then I want to go try and do it again. And then I want to go try and do it again until I'm too old or they kick me out of this place.
And look, when you look at this past year, Russell Wilson, with all the weapons he has, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, hey, I think Carr had a better year than Wilson. Oh, you could blame injuries. Well, how come we never blame injuries when Carr had a broken back in 2017? With Wilson, we start blaming injuries, but with Carr, we never give him a break. I just think this guy is totally capable of making definitely more than Goff, definitely more than Cousins and Ryan, and $40 million a year. So Raider Nation, let me know. Should the Raiders pay Carr $40 million a year? Because it looks like if you want to keep a franchise QB who his haters say he's top 15. It used to be his haters just said he sucked. Now his haters have to admit he's top 15. And then, people who like Carr say he's a top 10 quarterback. And I'm in that camp. I have said on this channel numerous times, he's better than Brady. Yeah, he's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Joe Burrow. He's not going to juke everybody when you have a bad offensive line. But you give him an offensive line, you give him some weapons, he's going to score touchdowns, he's going to win some games. He's proven that. And that's what Brady does. That's what Rodgers does. That's what a lot of great QBs do, Peyton Manning. And I think when you look at the success around the league lately, especially with Matthew Stafford winning a Super Bowl, there's no reason why Derek Carr can't win a Super Bowl with a good team. Just based on history, based on statistics, based on life, right? And Derek Carr, yeah, the big problem in his career, and this is Derek Carr's numbers year by year from 2017 to 2021, just the past 5 seasons, leaving out 2016, but 2016 he did have over 30 touchdowns, and that's the only season in his career where he's had over 30 touchdowns. He had a lot of weapons back then, though, right? Crabtree, Mari Cooper, Seth Roberts, good pieces there. Not great numbers in 2018, but he has gotten better. He has gotten better every single year under Gruden. I think Gruden helped make Carr a better quarterback, at least at reading defenses. And you've seen that pay off. Look at the yardage going up every single year. 4,800 this year, career high for Derek Carr. Yeah, you get one extra game, but really to have 700 more yards, almost 5,000 just with one extra game, that's really impressive. And for the majority of the NFL season, he led the NFL in passing yards. Now, his touchdowns are low. How do we explain low touchdowns for Derek Carr? In my opinion, it comes down to the fact that you don't always have the greatest weapons in the red zone, especially when Waller wasn't there. You really only had Hunter Renfrow as a key threat in the red zone. And when he's locked down, the field is short. The field is short. The closer you get to the end zone, when you get to the red zone, the field is short, and it really takes elite wide receiver route running skills in order to get open. And Renfrow was the only guy really providing that in the red zone. Yeah, Carr could hit Zay Jones and Bryan Edwards on a deep pass, but when it got to the red zone, these guys were nowhere to be found, unfortunately. And I think, yes, if you get some great route runners in the red zone for Derek Carr, you can see some things pay off as far as touchdowns in the future. And I think Josh McDaniels can do that with him. So hopefully they get a deal soon, and hopefully we get that passing grade up and we get those touchdown numbers increased. Coaching staff, right? McDaniels, Ziegler, these guys are making decisions every day. And I have to tell you guys, I've been quite impressed with the coaching staff. Some people have said they're getting all kinds of nepotism hires. Look, the crazy thing about McDaniels and his hires lately, he's peeling away the Patriots staff. And you could look at Patriot fans online. I have watched some Patriot YouTubers just to kind of understand their perspective of our new head coach. And a lot of them are just like, wow, our staff is getting rated. And a lot of them are saying the Raiders are acquiring an elite coaching staff. They're jealous. A lot of Patriots fans are jealous of what we're building here. And you see it. Offensive coordinator Mike Lombardi, defensive coordinator Patrick Graham from the Giants, Tom McMahon, special teams from the Broncos, QB coach Bo Hardigee, coach Edgar Bennett, the only retaining coach from last year, Edgar Bennett, consistent one from last year. That shows how impressive Bennett is, that he was able to get a job with the new coaching staff. I think that's really impressive. Then you got Carmen Brasillo, a little typo there, put a D, but it's Brasillo, and Chris Ash, and defensive pass game coordinator Jason Simmons, and obviously Rob Ryan, old school Rob Ryan from back in the day, defensive assistant. No D-line coach, no linebacker coach yet. I think maybe Rob Ryan would cover the linebacking coach duties, since that's what he did last year with the Ravens. So that is quite possible. But hey, we're assembling the squad. They're just trying to lock down their QB so we could build this team and make a Super Bowl run. And I really hope Mark Davis is telling the truth when he says this is not a rebuild. We are trying to make a Super Bowl. And I think if Derek Carr signs that ink soon, I think it's more and more in the direction that it's not a rebuild and we're going to the Super Bowl. And that is what I hope for. Don't get it twisted. Just because I shed light on how this contract's not a done deal yet doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. I really, really want this to happen. Watch Carr at Fresno State, and I'd love to see him hold up the Super Bowl Lombardi trophy at the end of the year as a Raider. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. Subscribe to this channel to get more updates on Raider news and content. And hey, you have a good one. This is Wi-Fi Willie for the Raiders Rundown. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one.